Good evening, everybody. How are you? Kind of a last minute idea to go ahead and go live on Saturday night. It's good to see you all. Welcome back to Where's Walter and this little special AMA that we're doing tonight on the Scarlet Lady. If you have any questions at all about Virgin Voyages, about the Scarlet Lady, or if you just want to talk a little bit, I'll go out into regular cruising as well. But we took a 7-night cruise on the Scarlet Lady in July. Or excuse me, a 5-night. I'm so used to saying 7. My wife, of course, is sitting right off camera, my producer. And we took a 5-night cruise in July. And it was really quite a bit different than what we expected it to be. So I thought, you know what, let's pop up on an AMA and see if you guys have questions. Hey, Jim, good to see you. Hey, how you been? Haven't seen you since the cruise. Thanks for coming on in and joining us. Good to see you. For folks in here, and I'll definitely, as more folks join in, I'll let them know. But Jim is one of the top Virgin Voyages agents now, independent agent, and one of the top agents for Virgin Voyages. So, and I know there's a little bit last minute, but if you're new to the channel, Where's Walter is all about cruising. It's especially for newbie cruisers, those who are cruise curious. Maybe you've heard information about cruising. In fact, we had somebody on our TikTok this morning who said they've never taken a cruise and they've heard all kinds of bad things about it. And by the time we were done, about 15 minutes later, they were ready to go start looking at cruises. And that's really what we're all about. So what's the matter, hon?
I can't see the comments.
Oh, you can't see the comments? Oh, well, maybe go back on your phone then. So my wife can't see the comments over there, but I sure can. So tonight we're going to be talking about Scarlet Lady. And first of all, before we get going, as always, please make sure that you join the Facebook group. If you're not in the Facebook group yet, we've got a really nice Facebook group going on over there. Absolutely fantastic. About 200 of us in there now. So it's a small group. It's a quiet group. Everybody in there helping each other. It's super, super cool. If you want to go over to where'swalter.tv, not only do we have some reviews, some tips, recipes, and cocktails, but we have a new merch store now. We finally have a merch store. I'm so excited. Some of the merch is on its way here now. They're printing some of the shirts for me so I can see what they look like. But we have shirts. We have onesies. We have onesies. I'm so excited about that. We have pillows. We have totes. There's all kinds of things in there, both with our designs and with independent designs as well. So if you go to our website, right there on the homepage, there's a banner, or you can click store up at the top if you want to go ahead and purchase something. Very, very exciting. We also have a Patreon channel. So if you're interested in supporting the channel, maybe helping us do some more content, certainly become a Patreon. That would be absolutely awesomely cool. I would absolutely love that. And right here on YouTube, we have a playlist with 6 episodes on it directly from the Scarlet Lady so far. I do have an interview with Jim coming up. Jim, who's hanging out here in the comments, I have an interview with him coming up shortly where we do talk about cruising in general and Scarlet Lady in particular. But here on YouTube, we do have a full tour of the Cheeky Corner Suite that we had. What a suite. My goodness, what a suite. Absolutely stunning. 500 square foot balcony. My goodness, we've not had cabins that big. We had a 500 square foot balcony. There's a food tour up there. There's an overall review, our thoughts and comment about Scarlet Lady itself and what really surprised us about Virgin Voyages. We were prepared to go on that cruise, but I don't think we were really prepared to go on that cruise. Like, there was a lot of things that were really different. Hey, good morning, Cindy. Good to see you. Oh, you got a grandbaby with you tonight. Good to see you, Cindy. Thanks for coming in. But then there's also my karaoke. There is a full episode of karaoke of me singing Copacabana. So if you can handle that, me singing for 3 minutes, that was one of the really, really fun things that I did not know about on Scarlet Lady. They do have private karaoke, and it is so much fun. Even if you don't sing, I don't sing karaoke. I don't get in front of crowds, but oh my God, I had so much fun singing in a private booth. Yeah, so much fun. Sort of kind of see that you get to see a little bit of the secret show. You get to see how we got to go to the secret show. I couldn't show you the secret show because they literally took our phones and cameras away. And then we had a cocktail party in our cabin. So those 6 videos are right here on YouTube for you to enjoy and check out about the Scarlet Lady. Yeah, Rebecca's saying that they also do group karaoke. That was in the social diner or the social club. They do group karaoke. It's kind of weird though. It's like just like out in the middle of kind of like a hallway, people going by and stuff. I think it would have been better actually if they did it in the dock. But the private karaoke, man, I am totally down with that. So if you just joined in, welcome to our Ask Me Anything about the Scarlet Lady. We also have Jim Drennan hanging out in the comment. Jim is a independent travel agent, and he's one of the top agents for Virgin Voyages. So Jim, thank you so much for joining in. So if I can't answer the question, Jim most certainly can. But yeah, if you got any questions, drop them into the comment. While we're waiting for some questions, here's some of the basic specs on the Scarlet Lady. She is 110 gross tons. Now, just as a comparison, what the Oasis of the Sea is pushing like 225, something like that. So Oasis is almost double the size of this ship. She has 17 total decks. 13 of them are passenger decks. She can hold, this is interesting, she can hold 2,770 people maximum capacity. Now, that's actually lower than a lot of ships of a similar size. So they're not packing us in. You know, they've given up some passengers to create more public space on the ship. And it's very interesting, like where Pink Agave and Pink Agave and Razzle Dazzle, they're like right at the end of cabins. You know, you can step right into a hallway of cabins right from those restaurants. So it's kind of interesting. So they gave up some passenger space. They have 1,160 crew, and from what I could tell, they were fully staffed. It did not look anything at all like it did on the Carnival Mardi Gras, where you could tell they were short staffed. But on Scarlet Lady, they looked like they were full on staff. Everybody was casual, having a good time. It is an adult only cruise line, 18 and up. And the sister ships are Resilient Lady, Valiant Lady, and Brilliant Lady. So the Valiant is currently sailing in Europe, and the Resilient Lady was supposed to launch. She's done, but they held it. They decided not to launch her this year, actually due to staffing issues. That was one of the issues that they brought up. And so they're going to launch that next year. And the Brilliant Lady is under construction right now. So that's what we got going on. So if you're new to the channel, as always, my wife, Rebecca, is sitting right off camera here. She's kind of like my producer. She will be feeding over here some information. Cindy, that is a great question. What is the home port? So for the Valiant Lady, she is in Barcelona. That is her home port. And for the Scarlet Lady, she is in Miami. They built a brand new Terminal V, as in Victor, as in Virgin, right at the end of the pier, which is actually kind of a cool place for it. It's like around the corner. So if you've been to Miami, you know all the ships are kind of in a long line, and the highway is right across from where all the ships are. And the Scarlet Lady is kind of hiding down at the end. She's like around the corner. And when we got into our cheeky corner suite, it was very interesting. The ship literally backs right up. There's a highway or a causeway that comes right into the port. And I could actually talk to people who were walking on the causeway, you know, walking back and forth on the bridge. They were like right there. So the ship is in an interesting position. Beautiful terminal. I mean, we only got to see it for about 30 seconds as we headed onto the ship, but absolutely beautiful terminal. So she is home ported in Miami. And the Valiant Lady is coming over in November, and she will also be home ported in Miami for the winter season. So if you'd like to try out both of the sister ships, they will both be there for the winter season. The difference being that Valiant Lady will actually be doing 6, 7, and 8 night itineraries, while the Scarlet will continue to do the 4 and the 5 night itineraries. If I have one complaint about the cruise, it was just that it was too short. You know, 5 nights was not quite enough. I would have loved to have had 7 nights. I would have loved to have had 9 nights on that ship. There was so much to see, so much to do, and it was a very, very enjoyable ship. So thank you for that question. If any of you got questions, please, by all means, go ahead. We're going to be talking about Scarlet Lady tonight for at least an hour. It was, as you can see, I'm wearing my Voyages shirt. Wait, I'm going to go this way so you can see it. It was kind of an eye-opening ship for me, you know, the included Wi-Fi. In fact, I'm going to bring up the inclusions right now. So this is the big thing that is very different about not just the adults only, but this is very different than a lot of the cruise lines out there, that literally all of your meals are included. And when I say all of your meals, I mean all of them. Every restaurant, the social club diner, the galley, the dock house, literally every meal on the ship is included. Now, there are some, you know, extra items, which I'll show you in a moment, that you can pay for if you want to, but you don't have to. The soft drinks are included, and that does include sparkling water, which is nice, and teas, all the Coke products, all included. The Wi-Fi is included, and the basic Wi-Fi. Well, first of all, the Wi-Fi in the entire ship was excellent. Excellent coverage, excellent speed. Rebecca said she was able to stream TikTok all day long, no problem with the basic Wi-Fi. And I paid an extra $10 a day. So it was $50 over the course of the cruise to get the high-speed internet. And if you tuned in, I did 2 1-hour live streams from the ship. One day we were actually at sea, and then the other day, I think we were in Puerto Plata. We were in one of the ports. So the internet was fabulous. So the coverage was good. The speed was good. The gratuities are included and the group exercises. So you're getting all of that included. So when you're comparing the prices of Virgin, you're going to see, well, Virgin looks higher. Well, make sure you price out what all of those things are a la carte, like specialty dining. You're not going to be spending any money on specialty dining, and you are going to be getting that specialty dining restaurant experience. So I see we have some comments over here. Marcus, I like this, Marcus. Do you think a Thanksgiving cruise on VV would be booked up given the demographic, i.e. no kids? Oh, hey, well, Rebecca's looking, and also Jim, you might have some input on this as well. Again, if you're just joining us, Jim Drennan has joined us in the comments there, and he is an independent travel agent who is also one of the top Virgin Voyages agents. So he may have some input as well. Hi, B Duff, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Rebecca's looking it up right now to see if it is booked, but you know why I'm going to say it's probably not booked up yet, because there are so many people who are still scared of Virgin Voyages. They're still nervous about, well, what is this thing really all about? And when the vlogs first came out, it was all about the sex and the weird dance show and the and that pool. And a lot of people kind of got turned off. And plus their marketing was supposedly, 25-year-olds was their target market. And now they realized, okay, we got to open it up. So I would think that it is, I would think it's open. What do you got?
No suites, but
that is a pattern.
Scarlet have rooms.
Okay, so that is a real pattern with the Scarlet Lady. I've noticed the suites are sold out for Thanksgiving. The suites sell out first. I mean, just gone.
Every cruise line. Yeah.
And then Rebecca is saying that both Valiant and the Scarlet Lady have time on Thanksgiving. Now, the Valiant's going to give you a longer cruise. The Scarlet's still going to be, what do you got? Oh, so Scarlet's doing a 5-night and Valiant, I think, is doing an 8-night. Okay, so you get 8 nights on Valiant, or you can do 5 nights on Scarlet. I would take the 8 nights on Valiant myself. It is lovely. So Jim is saying down there that the ship hasn't been sailing at capacity yet, so it shouldn't be too bad. And again, I still think people are scared of it, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do the AMA right now, and that's one of the reasons why, if you go look at my reviews and things like that, I present information that I have not seen in other vlogs about what is the ship really like. What is it really like? And it's really like a celebrity ship, really, for me. It's a lot like a celebrity ship. But yeah, so I think so you are good to go right now. If you want to book for Thanksgiving, certainly wouldn't wait too long. I don't know if that deal is still going. They were running a deal where they were giving you a $300 bar tab. For November, they were giving you a $300 bar tab. And in fact, since I mentioned the bar tab, I'll bring that up. So they're still doing it. So I'm going to bring this up right now. So this is the Virgin Voyages Bar Tab. What they do is you prepay a bar tab in $300 increments before you get on the ship. Once you get on the ship, you can't add any more bar tab. And Virgin will add more to it usually. Like if you put in $300, they put in $50 or $100. Right now for November, they're giving you a $300 bar tab, right? Yeah, so they're just giving you $300 for the cabin. And what's really cool about the bar tab, unlike a drink package, you can buy drinks for anybody. The drinks are not just for the person who paid for the bar tab. So if you want to buy everybody around at the bar, you can. If your partner who's in the cabin with you wants some drinks, you can buy them drinks. So it's kind of cool. So it's just $300 cash, really, to spend at the bar. You cannot spend that money at the store. So if you got money at the end of the cruise and you're like, well, what am I going to do? I'm going to lose the money. You could technically buy bottles of liquor from the bar. So like we had sailor loot left over and I ended up going and buying some liquor. This is what I did. So yeah. So, I mean, if you're thinking about Thanksgiving, I would certainly go for it. and you know they're giving you $300 towards your drink. So I think that would be amazing. Wow, let's see who's all in here. I see. Oh, thank you for the comment. I'm glad. I try my best. U.S. Party Company, Tristan, good to see you. Can't wait to see you on Tuesday night. What would we do differently now that you didn't know before on Virgin Voyages? Excellent question, Tristan. The one big thing I would say, I don't know that I would do it differently, but the next time I book a cruise on the ship, I would not book a suite. I don't think the suite is necessary. There is so much included for everybody. You know, there is no suite restaurant. You know, on a lot of other cruise ships, you get a suite, you get your own special restaurant, get your own special lounge. You get, you know, some other perks and freebies. On Virgin Voyages, there was no restaurant. You know, all of the restaurants are included. There's kind of a lounge. There's Richard's Rooftop at the top. It wasn't really used that much because it's so windy. It's literally right at the front of the ship. So it was so windy when the ship was moving, hardly anybody was using it. And yes, you do get priority embarkation. Yes, you do get the private golf carts at Bimini. But in terms of how much extra you have to pay, oh, and of course you get the alcohol. In fact, I'm going to bring that banner up right now. I've got that. What's included in the cabin? Here you go. So this is everything that's included with a suite. Now it is some cool perks, but I don't know that the value is there for getting a suite versus another cruise line where you really do get a lot of added things that that all the rest of the guests don't get. On Virgin Voyages, so many guests get so many things that I don't really see the need to book a suite again. I'm glad we did it. It was a lovely suite. That balcony was outrageous. The bar was so much fun. The Rockstar agent, which basically Rockstar agent is a concierge. Okay, they call him a Rockstar agent. It's basically your own, not your own personal concierge, because they do take care of a couple of cabins. But that is the one big thing that I would do different is, and I would say anybody looking to book a cruise on Scarlet Lady, I would say you don't have to book a suite to get a different experience. You know, you go on Norwegian, you book the Haven, that is a totally different experience, right? That is a ship within a ship experience. Not really that on Scarlet Lady. They've given us so much for everybody that I don't think the suite is necessary to have a great time. So thank you. Thanks for that question, Tristan. Let me see who else. Does Virgin have solo cabins, Cindy? Yes, they do. They have both interiors and they have ocean views for solo travelers.
Those sell out quick too.
Yeah, Rebecca was saying they sell out quick. You know, they don't have a lot, obviously, but they do have them, and they're reasonably priced. They really are. And again, you get a suite or you get an interior cabin. You get all the restaurants, all the food is included. You get all the soft drinks are included. Your Wi-Fi is included. Your gratuities are included. So again, you know, there's some really good perks just for going on the ship that I don't really need the suite. So yeah, I think so. Kenneth Lee, you're thinking about going on Christmas. I think it'd be a fabulous ship to go for Christmas. The crew is so laid back, so cool. I think they would be a lot of fun. I would love to see what the ship looks like at Christmas. It could be a lot of fun. I don't know. And I don't know if they'll do something different for Scarlet Night just because of Christmas. Maybe they'll turn it into some sort of a Christmas story. That would be hilarious. But yeah, I think that would be really, really fun. So you want to try Virgin Voyages? I think you should. I think, you know, if you like cruising, and what I will say, and I kind of mentioned it before, to me, it really reminded me of Celebrity Cruises. So if you cruise Celebrity, it might be kind of similar vibe to, say, MSC cruises as well, just based on what I've seen. I've not been on MSC. I know you just got off an MSC ship. But I think if you're a fan of cruising, you really should give Virgin a try. It's so much better than you think it's going to be. And the food is legit. The food is seriously, you are going to a restaurant every single night. And what I really liked about the restaurants, and I mentioned this in the review, Rebecca was the first one who really noticed it, that the restaurants are not just big boxes. They have cubbies and nooks and crannies and stuff where like tables go off this way, tables go off that way. So it's not like a big box and you're eating with 500 people. You're eating with a couple dozen people, and that's all you see in your sight line. So they've really done a nice job of making the ship intimate, of making the ship friendly. The crew is just outrageous. And as far as the bars, when I was going around, I didn't see a bad bar. I didn't have a bad drink at any of the bars on the ship, including the pool bar, which is often slushies. So yeah. Thank you, Jim. Marcus, how beneficial is a Rockstar agent truly? Did you find yourself using them often? Great question. Very good question. So supposedly, we were going to get contacted by our Rockstar agent prior to the cruise. We never did.
Only for megas.
Oh, only for megas. That's right. But we were supposed to be able to reach out to him, and I did.
Yeah.
And it took a while to get an answer. So yeah, we were rock stars. We were not mega rock stars. So Cheeky Corner Suite is a rock star. The mega rock stars is the next step up. So I think our friends, actually, Christine and George, actually saw him like every single day. He was like popping up all over the place, and he was doing things. The biggest thing that he did for us. So Rebecca is, Rebecca. So my wife is sitting right off camera. If you don't know, she does not like to be on camera, so she holds up notes for me. She has a microphone, but she hasn't spoken yet. So we're kind of low key people. We could have asked for more. The biggest thing that we asked the Rockstar agent for was, we only had 3 liquors in the bar. We had tequila, scotch.
No, we didn't have tequila.
Oh, right. We did not have tequila. Well, we had 3 liquors, whatever it was. And we asked him to go get some tequila and something else. And he did. He went and got like 2 big old bottles, brought it in. We needed limes and lemons. And apparently, if you want mixers, we brought some mixers. We brought orange bitters, and we brought some simple syrup with us. But apparently, we don't necessarily have to. You can ask the Rockstar agent to bring you stuff that you can make the cocktails, because you have a full cocktail kit in the cabin. I love that. You know, I'm a mixologist, so I love that. And one of the things that they can do, like if you want a restaurant reservation for the night and there aren't any, they can usually work something to get you in. They can usually work something to get you into a show, although we know that there was at least one show where they couldn't get Christine and George in. So we're pretty low key. We didn't really ask for a lot. Even when we've been in a concierge class on Celebrity, we didn't really ask for a lot. George and Christine used them more. And I think you're right, Marcus. If the ship is busier, probably, like if it was a 100% capacity ship, I bet the Rockstar agent would be much more handy, because things are going to sell out faster. And then if you want to get into something, that's what the Rockstar agent is for. Now, I will say, I bet for the mega rock stars, they push a little harder. But the big difference is between the Rockstar and the mega Rockstar really is the mega Rockstars can actually get their bars refilled. Rockstars cannot. You get the one, but both of them, you can take all the alcohol home. And I did. I've actually got some of the alcohol sitting right here. So, what are you saying, Jim? They're still running a special for solo trailers with no single supplement through 10/4. That is awesome. So you've got another month to book a solo cabin. And by the way, if you did not hear me earlier, Jim is an independent travel agent, and he's one of the top agents for Virgin Voyages. So if you're looking for a travel agent for Virgin Voyages, Jim could be your guy. What did you say? Mega also get drinks around the ship.
Yeah, they can get it from bars.
Oh, okay. Rebecca's saying that the Mega Rock Stars can also get a certain amount of drinks around the ship as well included. Again, I don't know. I don't know if that's worth it.
We don't drink it.
Like for myself, you know, Rebecca actually got the mocktails. Now that is something that was actually really good on the ship. The mocktails. Rebecca was getting mocktails all week. She said they were some of the best mocktails. And the Bloody Mary that she got, she said one of the actual best Bloody Marys she's ever had, and it was a mocktail. So if you are not, if you're not into alcohol, but you want to go ahead and do the mocktails and things like that, it is a very good ship for that. Apparently, I only tasted a couple, so I can't tell you about that, but I can tell you that the actual drinks were amazing. So, oh man, really good. So our cruise too, I'll put this up here. We did the Dominican days. It was 5 nights. That is actually the person who asked about Thanksgiving. That is the Thanksgiving cruise right there on the Scarlet Lady. The Valiant Lady will be doing an 8-night, but on the Scarlet Lady, this is the actual cruise that will be happening for Thanksgiving. Now, what we did when we got to Puerto Plata, we had already decided that that was going to be a ship day for us. We usually do a ship day on every single cruise just because we enjoy staying on the ship and taking advantage of having the whole ship to ourselves. That was the day that we got into the pool. Pool was actually quite lovely once we could get into it. It was really nice. And so we did not actually get off of Puerto Plata, but we did exit the ship at Bimini, and Bimini was outstanding. Absolutely stunning resort. I mean, a stunning resort. So that is the Thanksgiving cruise, but that was our cruise. So, hi, Jennifer. You just booked your first cruise, Dominican Day for mid-November. You're both first-time cruisers. Yay! That's what Where's Walter is all about, trying to get people to come on and take a cruise for the first time. That is so exciting. So that was our cruise. You are going to have a fantastic time. I don't really care which cabin you're in. You're going to have a fantastic time. I think one of the things that is most surprising about that ship that you may not get from a lot of the vlogs, I put it into my review here, is that the entertainment is not just the big shows. We had an amazing blues guitar player by the name of Slam Adams. I know he's not on there all the time, but there are guitarists, there are singers, the house band, fantastic. There's jugglers. There's all kinds of stuff that just happens around the ship. And then every single night, if you don't want to go see the big shows, you can just hang out at usually On the Rocks. There's either going to be a singer, it's going to be a jazz band or something like that playing over there. There's going to be a guitarist usually in the roundabout. So there are things to do. And then if you don't want to do anything, you just want to sit quietly, you can go sit in the dock, or even better, go sit out back on the very back on the outdoor part of the dock and just watch the stars and listen to the wake. It is just absolutely stunning. And by the way, they light up the wake. It is the coolest thing. On my channel, I do have a series of about 35 cruise relaxation videos. And one of the ones I just posted, if you look in that playlist, is the wake at night. It is the coolest thing. It's lit up in purple. I've never seen a cruise ship light up the wake, and they leave it on all night. So, you know, you wake up in the middle of the night, you can just go look out there. One of the interesting things too is that they leave the lights on the balcony all night. They are red lights. So the whole ship is lit up in red. So just so you know, your balcony will be bathed in red light at night. I don't even know if there was a regular light that we could turn on. It wasn't one that I noticed, but so Tristan, you're saying is a mermaid suit. You know, if you wore that mermaid suit for Scarlet Night, I bet they would love it. Maybe put a red shirt on underneath it. They would probably love it. You might get chosen as the king. If you heard the story on my YouTube video, it's something about a sailor and a mermaiden coming together. That's like the story, and it sounds like they pick two passengers to play the two roles. So you never know, if you wear that thing, they might just pick you to do that. But that is so exciting. Jennifer, I'm so excited for you. First cruise. You know, the one thing about Virgin Voyages that is going to spoil you a bit by going on there, because you're going to have, you know, you're going to have all your meals included. You're going to have your Wi-Fi included. The gratuities are included. That is going to kind of spoil you. So like you go over to Royal Caribbean, you go over to Celebrity, and you can start paying for this stuff. And you're going to be like, wait a minute, what happened? You know, all the stuff was included over there. So I really hope you have a fantastic time on the ship. It is a fantastic ship. Totally surprised us. Didn't know so many things about that ship. Oh man, I want to go back on it. I really want to go back on it. And by the way, if you're new to the channel, we have a wonderful private Facebook group that's been going gangbusters over there. Like about 200 of us. Nice little casual group helping each other out. So make sure you come on over and join the Facebook group as well if you get some time. Yes, congratulations, Jennifer. So exciting. And I'm double clicking stuff. I'm all over the place. So the dress code on Virgin Voyages is very casual. I mean, casual. You know, t-shirts and a short for dinner. Even though the restaurants are very high end, you can dress really as casual as you want. I think really the only thing they want, they don't want bathing suits in the restaurant. But other than that, I mean, pretty much come as you are. But the interesting thing that I noticed was it seemed like a lot of people were dressing up for dinner. And when I say dressing up, you know, like jeans and a button-down shirt kind of a thing, like business casual, because they are nice restaurants, and you are actually, it's an experience going on Virgin Voyages. It is not going to get something to eat. You know, let's just go get something to eat. It's not really like that on Virgin. It's like you are going for dinner, and dinners are long on Virgin Voyages. So you need to be prepared for that. So on like a cruise ship, you're going to be in and out in less than 90 minutes because they need to flip the tables. The test kitchen took 2.5 hours. The wake took about 90 minutes to 2 hours for dinner. Extra Virgin was supposed to take longer, but we only had 70 minutes because we were coming from a secret show when we were going to see Dual Reality. So we told the service staff when we got there, and it's supposed to be a 4-course meal. They brought out the pasta course and the entree course together, so it was a 3-course meal for us. So dinner is an experience. It is not just get you in, get you out. It is sit down, relax. We're going to take care of you. No rush to leave. So it really is an experience, and that is one thing that makes it very different going on Virgin Voyages versus other cruise line. So it's really cool. Tristan, how is the soda served? Can or soda fountain? So in your cabin, you will have cans. Actually, I don't know if they pre-stock the sailor cabins. They pre-stock the ones in the suites, but in the galley, they have a very small freestyle machine. It's not like the ones on Royal Caribbean. It's a very small one. It's limited just to the Coke products. Like you don't have the waters. You don't have did they have tea? I don't think they had any tea. It was just literally Coke.
You could get tea, but not
Yeah.
a machine.
So it is small fountains there. And then I think if you go to the bars is where you would get the cans. You can just ask for a can of Coke and they'll just pour you a can of Coke in the bars.
Depending on the bar, they might only have the.
Well, that's true. They might only have that as well. But we had cans of it in our suite, actually pre-stocked in the fridge. So they do have cans of it somewhere, but I don't know if that's how it's served for everybody. We don't really drink soda, so I don't know. Usually, like with the freestyle machine on Royal Caribbean, we are, Rebecca and I are doing like the waters, the flavored waters. So that's what we do a lot. So that was the only kind of bummer that they had the little miniature freestyles. I wish they had a few more options on there, but hey, I'm not complaining. It was free. That stuff was all free, which was awesome. But yeah. Like I said, dress code, very casual. The suite that we had, if you want to see it, there is a tour right here on YouTube. This is the suite that we had. It was 12011A, so deck 12. And our friends had 12011Z. That's the other thing that's a little bit confusing about this ship. They have identical cabin numbers on both sides of the ship. One side is Z, one side is A. And that is a little unusual. Usually, it's like odd on one side, even on the other side. But this one is literally the exact same cabin number. So you got to make sure that you know which cabin you are in, that you're in, either the A or the Z. But yeah, so it gave us a Rockstar Agent, fully stocked bar, record player. We didn't even use the record player, to be honest. I disconnected it all because I had my computer and my hard drive and all of that set up for all my video stuff. So we didn't even use the record player, but our friends did. George and Christine had it on every single night. We had a nice little cocktail party over there. We had a breakfast. Actually, we had breakfast on our balcony, I think. And we had some snacks over on their balcony. Oh, room service was awesome, by the way. Room service, they come with like this zip bag, and then you open it up and it has these nice round tubs in there. So everything is well organized. It's not just stuff everywhere, no styrofoam or the stupid metal or plastic things that pop off. They were really, really well done. The menu was somewhat limited. That was the one thing about the room service menu. It was a little bit limited, but they also had grab and go, which was sweet, both at the galley and then just as you went out to the dock down on deck 7. I mean, they had charcuterie boards, they had little sandwiches, they had breakfasts, they had all kinds of good stuff. Oh, room service where you can order the stand. Aha! There you go, Jim. Good question. They do not pre-stock soda. Order several cans from Ship Eats. There you go. And that is what they call room service, Ship Eats. It is fantastic. That is so awesome. A fee for regular sailors. Oh, so for regular sailors, there is a fee for room service. For the suites, there was no charge for room service delivery. Yeah, but there is a service fee to bring the food to your cabin if you are a sailor, depending on what it is. Now, the Coke itself is free. So, maybe ask them to bring, say, like 5 or 6 cans of Coke, and then you just pay them $5 for 5 or 6 cans of Coke. 4-day versus a 14-day. Oh, so you would put a couple of cruises together for a 14-day. I don't know. I wouldn't do 4. Definitely would not do 4. I don't know that you necessarily need to do 14. I mean, you can do 9. You can put a 4 and a 5 together and do 9. That'll probably be perfect for that. Because if you do 14, well, if you did the 8 and the 6, that will be 2 different. Because you're also talking about 2 different ships. I'm assuming you're talking about Valiant versus Scarlet Lady. So, we know the Scarlet Lady. So I would love to do 9 days on the Scarlet Lady, and I would love to do 8 days on the Valiant Lady. So that's your call about 14 days. I don't know. Huh?
4.
Yeah, 4 is not enough. 5 was not enough. You know, I really wish, you know, knowing what we know now, it was fun that we did the suite, but we could have taken that extra money and booked back to back on the balconies, and we would have had 9 nights on the cruise. So that would be my suggestion: 9 nights. Do a 5 and a 4, or do the 8 on the Valiant. You know, honestly, but it's totally up to you. I mean, if you want to do 14 nights, I'm not going to complain about 14 nights on a cruise. Are you kidding me? I want to do 21. I want to do that 73 night Grand Africa tour on Holland America, Fort Lauderdale to Fort Lauderdale, 73 days, sailing out around Africa and coming back. I want to do that one. That would be absolutely amazing. 14 days would be nothing. So the primary restaurants are Pink Agave. That is your upscale Mexican. Razzle Dazzle is known as the vegan vegetarian. It is a fun little restaurant. We only did brunch there. We didn't have enough nights to go back for dinner. I really wanted to go back for dinner. They have something called mushroom tartare. If you like mushrooms, so good, so freaking good. And then the confetti toast that you see me eat in the video is so freaking adorable. It is so much fun. The wake is just ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. You will see in the food tour, and I do tell you straight up, that is like a $65 steak. There's a big tomahawk steak. All the restaurants have a treat yourself item. There's usually a couple items in there, and they are an extra charge. But Rebecca and I paid nothing for any of our dinners. We didn't get any of a treat yourself because honestly, there's no reason to. The food is so freaking good. You don't have to treat yourself because you're treating yourself every night anyway. But the wake was just, we did a brunch and we did dinner. So I highly recommend that you do both at the wake. So freaking good. Extra virgin was good. It's not the best Italian that I've had. I think the Italian that I've had on Princess Cruises actually was better than this, but it was still very, very good. And the service was outstanding. The charcuterie board that they brought out in the beginning though was amazing. And one of the cool things is they brought it out and the meat and the cheese were kind of mixed together. But Rebecca doesn't eat meat. So we said, is there any way you can bring, and they were like, yep, no problem. They took it away and they brought another one out where everything was completely split. They put honey down the middle. So if you have friends or family sitting with you that don't eat meat and you want to get a charcuterie board, they will split it so that they can at least have the cheese if they want. So that was super cool. Test kitchen is just, there's no way to explain that one. That is a micro gastro experience. I will admit we were a little bit hungry after it, and that's fine. We went and got a pizza. No big deal. We all kind of split some pizza, but it was an experience. It was 2.5 hours. Amazing. One of the best old fashions I have ever had. You will hear me say that a bunch of times in the review. So it is so good. And then Gun Bay is just fun. I was actually nervous about Gun Bay because I don't do drinking games. I don't like drinking games. I'm like, oh man, is this just going to be stupid? But actually, it's a really, really fun drinking game, and you just do one round before he starts cooking. So the first part of the meal is actually brought out from the kitchen, and then your server will actually do all the cooking for you right in front of you, the shrimps, the meats, and all that stuff. He'll actually do all the cooking, or she will do all the cooking right in front of you. Amazing, amazing. And like I said, there's no reason for you to get any treat yourself item, but George had some sailor loot left on the final night, and he's like, I'm going to get a tomahawk steak. And what I loved about it, and you'll see it in the review, they didn't just bring it out and slap it on his plate and go, look at that big steak. They sliced it all up like paper thin, and that's how they served it to him. Oh my God, it was so freaking good. It was really good. And Rebecca got a salt-crusted fish of some sort that, I mean, you would pay like $35, $45, $55 for that on another cruise line, but it was included in the meal. I mean, that's the thing about it. They are including food, but they're not cheapening out on the food. The food is really, really good. Man, look, I'm doing my Italian thing. Look at that. That's slipping in. I need to catch up with some comments here. So you're looking at doing so Tristan, you're looking at doing the transatlantic versus the 4. I don't know what to tell you about that at all. I've not been on a transatlantic yet. So Kenneth Lee, this is going to be your first cruise. Would you recommend a 7-day cruise? So right now on Virgin Voyages, the only way you can book a 7-night cruise is when the Valiant Lady is here. She is doing 2 7-night cruises for the holidays. The Scarlet Lady, the ship that we sailed, is doing 4 and 5s, and the Valiant Lady will be doing 6 and 8s, but then 7 nights just for the holidays. I think Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year, she's doing like a couple of 7 nights, which is kind of weird. So yes, our first cruise was actually 14 nights, back-to-back cruises. We did the East and West Caribbean on the Caribbean Princess. I didn't even want to go. Here I am trying to convince you people to go on cruises. This was back in 2006. I absolutely did not want to go on a ship. Rebecca dragged me onto the Caribbean Princess, and 3 days into our cruise, we were booking our next cruise because I loved it. So our first 3 cruises were on Princess. On a ship like this, yeah, I mean, if you want to book either the 6 or the 8 night when the Valiant is here, or you can book it back to back 4 and 5 and make it into a 9 night on Scarlet Lady. I think 7 nights or somewhere in that area is a really nice way to really fully understand everything that there is about the ship. A lot of times we say for your first cruise, just go take a 3-nighter or go take a 4-nighter to try it out. But inevitably, if you like what's going on, you're going to be like, man, I didn't really get enough. I didn't really get to do everything. Like we couldn't have dinner at all the restaurants because we only had 5 nights. And there were too many restaurants. We couldn't have dinner at every one of them. Yeah, there's 6 restaurants. We had 5 nights. So we did hit them all by going to brunch at Razzle Dazzle. So I think absolutely, you should, think about either doing the back-to-back thing or doing a 6 or 8 during the winter season while the Valiant Lady is here. She will be here. Jim, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she's going to be here like November to February or November to March. So there will be 2 Virgin Voyages ships operating out of Miami for the winter season. But yeah, I definitely, we did 14 nights. We jumped into the deep end, and, God forbid, if we didn't like cruising, we were screwed. We were on that ship for 14 days, but we had a great time.
It was a back-to-back. We could have gone.
Yeah, it was a back-to-back. I guess we could have left if we really wanted to. Let's see, Tristan, you're saying lock it in rate on a sea terrace. That's a fancy term for a balcony. So, the lock it in rate means that they are going to pick your cabin, right? Yeah, I think it means they're going to lock it. They're going to pick your cabin. Yeah. So the sea terrace is the balcony, and the Rockstar suite and the Rockstar cabins are the suites. Yeah, they even came up with a name for the interior. I can't remember what they call it, but they have a fun name for the interior cabins as well. So, yeah. So the sea terrace is just that, and they are balcony. Now we did find out there is a thread in Cruise Critic. There are about 20. Maybe 25 cabins that do not have hammocks. And it's just because of the way the ship is configured at those balconies. And there is a thread in Cruise Critic that has all of the cabin numbers where there is no balcony. I don't know if they make a note of that when you go to book it. Jim, you may know more than I do. Oh yeah, the Insider. They call it the Insider. And they call the Ocean View the Sea View. But yeah, so
in the front of the ship, though, apparently.
Yeah, they are all in the front of the ship. The ones that don't have hammocks are up near the front. And it's because of the way the ship is shaped, they could not hang a hammock. I didn't realize that. I thought every single cabin came with a hammock. That's the other thing too, about the Cheeky Corner Suite. They did not have really enough furniture out there. We had a big, beautiful balcony, but we had 2 lounge chairs, 2 tables, or 2 chairs, and then a very, very small table. Like we couldn't even invite any guests up because we didn't really have room for them. We had to ask the room steward to bring up some chairs, and honestly, it took until about the 3rd day of the cruise before we actually got the chairs up there. So that was the other kind of a bummer about the balcony, is that we just really didn't have, furniture. It would have been nice. Like we could have literally hosted like 30 people out on the balcony, no problem. It was so freaking big, but we didn't really have like any. They would have all been standing around. That would have been a great way to get rid of the alcohol, though. If you can't take the alcohol home, just invite everybody over and just start making drink. That would be a lot of fun. Who we got here? I see we got another comment. October 30th. Oh, that's when she's coming over, October 30th. Awesome. And then she will be here through the summer season, through the winter season. I think it's awesome that they're bringing her over. I just don't understand why they're holding fast on those 4 and 5 nights on Scarlet. I know they're trying to get as many cruises as they can out of her, but it would be nice if they started dropping in, some 7s or 8s. So if we wanted to take a longer cruise and Valiant's not here, it would be nice to be able to go ahead and do that. Probably with the when Resilient takes off. Jim, do you know anything about the Resilient? Have you guys heard anything about the Resilient Lady? What is the current plan for her to get started? I'd be kind of curious if you know anything about that. That would be kind of cool. Yeah. And by the way, if you want to, we now have a Patreon set up. I'm still trying to get things set up for it, but we do have a Patreon set up if you want to support the channel, and we got some merchandise now. we have a store. It's so exciting. We have some branded merch. We have some fun merch. So, if you're going on a cruise, there's some really fun stuff in there. So what else can I tell you about the Scarlet Lady? Oh, yeah. So I told you about the restaurant. This is the quick food. You've got the Galley. So the Galley, well, I'll tell you about the Galley in a second. So you got the Galley, which is the food hall. The dock, which is out on deck 7. That's the outdoor. They make tapas, wonderful tapas. They usually have like 3 or 4 different kinds of tapas, but I had grilled octopus. I had hanger steak and a fajita. Rebecca had a polenta and goat cheese, and then there's some shrimp. Oh my God, it was so good. Like as soon as we got on the ship, it was so good. It was so good. Pizza place, really good pizza. I highly recommend the truffle and egg. Oh my God, really, really good. The Sun Club Cafe is the one where they do the poke bowls, and we really wanted to try it, but they had weird hours. Could never quite figure out when they were actually going to be open, so we never had it. And they're in a weird place too. They're all the way up in the front of the ship on deck 16, right next to Richard's rooftop. So they're in kind of a weird place, so you kind of have to go find them. But the Galley is set up as a food hall. And with multiple stations, you've got the noodle station, the panini station, the diner and dash is your 24-hour food. That's actually a breakfast joint. So that's kind of cool. 24-hour breakfast. I think that was brilliant. And of course, you got the sweets, you got the salad bar, multiple things going on, tacos and things like that. And when it's not busy, it works brilliant. You just walk up to the taco stand and say, I'd like to get a couple of tacos. You make them, hand them to you. When it's busy, they want you to go sit down at a table, bring up the menu on your phone because they have a QR code right there. And then they want you to place your order with a server, and that server will bring the food to you. And it kind of broke down for us on the morning of Puerto Plata. It looked like the entire ship was in there having breakfast, and we just weren't getting waited on. And fortunately, the chef at Let's Taco About It noticed that we were just kind of standing there. We weren't able to get anybody's attention. He actually came over and took our order. And once he started taking our order, then a server came over and I was able to place my order. By the way, breakfast, man, they have a French toast burger at the Burger Bar. Oh, it's so good. So freaking heavy, but so good. What does Rebecca say? Oh, Rebecca says that they do have paper menus at a stand in the aft of the Galley. So if you don't want to do the phone thing, they do have paper menus in the back. But I'm telling you, breakfast, French toast burger. Oh my God. Not if you're doing something long that day. So yeah. Oh, good, Jim. So you have a list of the cabins without hammocks too. So if you're interested to find out which cabins they are, again, they're mainly up in the front. And if you go into Cruise Critic Forum, you will also find a discussion thread on that. And a gentleman did post everything in there about it. Oh, so this is kind of fun. There is an afternoon tea. Damn, it's good afternoon tea too. Really good afternoon tea. But ironically, most cruise lines is free. But on Scarlet Lady, they do charge for it. And actually, Gary Benbridge was kind of upset about that with Tips for Travelers. It's kind of funny. We've had a little back and forth talking about it. He's like, but they shouldn't charge for it. I'm like, but Gary, they don't charge you for any of the restaurant. You should be paying money for those steaks and the shrimp and test kitchen and all that. So it's just kind of funny. But it's really good. I mean, $19 for tea or $35 gets you champagne. They will bring you as much as you want. If you go watch the review here on our channel, you'll see that I even ate chicken liver, and I don't eat chicken liver, but it was so freaking good. It was really good. So it's a lovely, lovely. If you're a fan of afternoon tea, they put on a good, of course they should. It's a British cruise line, and they have actual clotted cream, for the scones, and the scones were just so good. Everything about that afternoon tea, it's so freaking good. Man, just so good. If you're a coffee fan, they have 2 locations at the Grounds Club. One, I think it's deck 7. Down near the roundabout, and then up in the Galley there's one in the back. Now the thing about the coffee shops is they close a little early. I think 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, so they were closed, and I was like, man, that is awful early. Usually you got a coffee shop going to maybe like 11 p.m. and sometimes it's part of the 24-hour thing. So if you want coffee when the grounds clubs are closed, actually go over to the Sip Champagne Lounge. They have an amazing espresso machine. It's actually a hand pull. It's a hand pull machine. I couldn't believe it when I walked over there. I'm like, oh my God, that's a hand pull machine. And she did it, made me a fabulous cappuccino. I think it was after one of the shows. It was pretty late at night. And she made it was a stronger one than I usually get at the grounds club. Now, Rebecca's saying that there's free coffee in the Galley as well. I didn't like the coffee in the Galley. There was just something off about it for me. I didn't really like it. But ironically, the coffee that they brought to the cabin as part of room service was fabulous. And I think it's the same coffee. I don't know. But I didn't like, when I went up to the Galley, I didn't think the coffee was all that great. I usually don't like the coffee that's in any buffet anyway. You know, it's kind of decent. What I tend to do with the coffee.
The room service coffee, that's free.
That's what I said.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever they brought us for the room service, it was absolutely amazing coffee. So Monkey B, let's see. What'd you say here? You see Gary's point because tea seems like afternoon tea is all about relaxing. But since you have to pay for it, you'd probably feel more pressure, really. And, you know, I wouldn't say that at all. You know, because again, you are not paying for, you know, you're not paying for everything else. So you don't really feel any pressure at all. You know, when you go to the wake, that is easily, you know, a $60, $70 dinner on any cruise ship, period. You know, because you got steaks on there, you got shrimp on there. Rebecca got a salt crusted, I don't know, cod or something. That was absolutely amazing. When you go to Extra Virgin, you're getting so much food. When you go to Razzle Dazzle, oh God, a pink agave, absolutely amazing food. So to me, you know, $19 for that, it was totally worth it. If you go and watch my review and you see the tower, it's unlike any afternoon tea. So when you get that free afternoon tea, they walk around with the tray and they give you the little finger sandwiches that are okay. This was actually worth paying for. They brought out a little tower just for us with little things on it. I'm telling you that the quality of the afternoon tea, you feel better about paying that $19. And I mean, again, it's only $19. But it is a different experience. Now, I haven't been on the P&O ships yet. I'm sure they do an absolutely brilliant afternoon tea because they are British. But in terms of the mainstream cruise lines that we've been on 8 different cruise lines now, easily the best afternoon tea. So just the quality of everything that they served us was fantastic. Jim, thank you for looking that up. So the Resilient Lady is not going to launch until May. That is fantastic. That's absolutely fantastic. It's kind of interesting that they're going to hold it that long. So, you know, yeah, I mean, that could be one thing, but the pricing is already pretty high because you're already paying for the food and you're already paying for the drink, you know, the soft drinks, and you're paying for the Wi-Fi. I mean, you are still paying for it. They're burying all that in there. But not everybody wants to do afternoon tea. And then if they just included the afternoon tea, I would be willing to bet that the afternoon tea would not be what it is. It would not be that, like, it wouldn't be like that. It would be more like what the other cruise lines do, where they just walk around and they serve you. So yeah, I don't have any problem with that at all. You know, serving at 19, as long as they keep up the quality. Yeah, the food, you know, the only thing that you guys were missing in all those videos was smell-o-vision. The smell is just unreal. The flavors are just unreal. I've not had food like that on a cruise ship that I didn't have to pay for. You know, I am used to paying, you know, $45, $65, $150 to get the quality of the service and the quality of the food that we got on that ship. Like I said, the Wake is a top tier steakhouse, you know, like when people talk about Cagney's and Fahrenheit 555 and all that. I mean, this is just included. You just walk down there and you eat. So that is the big psychology, I think, for Virgin Voyages, that you just walk in and, you know, when you're paying $75 a person, so now you're paying $150 for that meal. Yeah, there's a lot of pressure to eat because it's like, I better get my $150 worth, whereas you're just paying $19 for the afternoon tea. And it's like, well, yeah, if I eat half of what's on here, I'm good. But I didn't pay for that freaking steak and all that shrimp and everything else that I just ate. So I think the psychology really works to their advantage, especially if you look at the Gun Bay. Man, that Gun Bay meal was amazing. The Wake meal was amazing. Is that $19 a person? Yes, it is $19 a person. Absolutely. So yeah, and again, it to me, it's well worth it. Or $35 per person if you'd like to get the champagne, because you are in the champagne lounge. And most of them do offer champagne these days, you know, for an upcharge. So, Tristan, you said you paid $17 for a breakfast delivery. Came with so much stuff. It was worth eating on the balcony and left the lady hanging with more of my trays on MSC. I know. We did that on Princess. We did a breakfast on the balconies. It was just 2 of us. I swear we had like 7 bagels, 10 Danishes. I mean, it was just so much stuff. And it's like, this is for 2 people. And I want to say it was 3 or 4, plates. Then we had the orange juice. Then we had the coffee. Then we had, I mean, it was just so much freaking food. And it was just too much. It was too much. I don't know why they bring that much out when they do something like that for just 2 people. I'm sure it is different now. Like I just saw that Carnival just started instituting a fee for room service. And John Heald said that is in part due to waste, food waste. So they're trying to cut down on food waste, which is what Virgin Voyages is doing too with the Galley. They are trying to cut down on food waste, and they say that they've cut down at least 40% of food waste that would typically be associated with a buffet. So that is really fantastic. Is tea every day or just, okay, there you go. Is tea every day or just the C days? Rebecca, now you're saying it's just the C days, but I could have sworn it was also on a port day. Okay, Rebecca's saying it's only on the C days. We usually do it once for on a cruise. When it's included, you'll see people go down and do it over and over. But honestly, one time on any other cruise line is good enough for me because the food just really isn't that great. It's kind of cute to do it. And usually the afternoon tea is in the main dining room. So it's like this big dining room, kind of a thing. I love that you just said that, Jim, because, I'll have to ding Gary because, Gary goes on Cunard all the time. So I have to go, but Gary, you pay for it on Cunard. Why is it a problem on Virgin? That's just funny.
I don't know about high-end rooms.
I don't know. I have no idea. So, but that's just kind of funny. So yeah, afternoon tea is usually something that is on C days. And, I do see people who go there all the time, because it's a social thing. People kind of go down there and socialize. That is one of the kind of fun things on the other cruise lines when they do it at the main dining room. They do seat like 8 people together, so you get to talk to some people. They don't do it as much for dinner anymore. You don't have a lot of that socialization going on, obviously, because of the pandemic and everything like that. But that is one thing that I do miss, is sitting down at a big table and meeting like 4 or 6 new people. That was always a lot of fun for me. Good. I'm glad you've enjoyed the Virgin talk. I mean, I didn't know what was going to happen. I just figured, you know what? Tube Buddy says we should go live at 6 p.m. So I was like, let's just go live at 6 p.m. and see what happened. And we haven't actually done a Virgin AMA yet. The videos have been doing really well up on the channel. So I thought, what the heck? Let's do a little hour of chat. And my goodness, we have run through an hour already. Holy crap. Is there anything else that I have not gotten out there that I want you guys to know? By the way, if you want to see the ship, if you're thinking about going on the ship, check out Hard Travel's channel here on YouTube. That is the channel that we use to do all of our ship tours. We don't book anything through Danny, but he does excellent front to back, top to bottom tours. So if you want to see what the Scarlet Lady looks like and what it's all about, and he's got dozens and dozens of cruise ships on there, like the Mardi Gras. Before we went on the Mardi Gras, like 2 days before we got on the ship, we watched the tour again to kind of refamiliarize ourselves with the ship. We did the same thing with Scarlet Lady. We watched it a couple of nights before we went on the ship. So we kind of had an idea of where everything was. So make sure you subscribe to Danny. And anytime you are looking at a ship or once you booked it, check to see if he's got a tour on his channel. He does fantastic tours, and he does tours of every single cabin type. So if you want to know, well, what is that cabin? What does the sea terrace really look like? Danny has a tour of one of the sea terraces, so you can see what it really looks like versus the photos and the videos that Virgin is showing you. So I highly recommend that you subscribe to Danny to check out what the Scarlet Lady looks like, because I don't do ship tours. I will never do a ship tour. A, they're a lot of work, but B, people like Danny, people like Steph over at Sean and Steph, they do these wonderful ship tours. So I don't really have to. I'd rather you go watch their ship tour. And then if you want to see more about what the ship is like and what the experience is like, well, come on over and check out what we're doing. I kind of concentrate on the food. I concentrate on people, and I concentrate on the overall vibe and experience of going on the ship. So yeah, I didn't even show any of my videos. Gosh, I had videos. I had everything loaded up for this. This was fun. Wow. So we've gone an hour, folks. I want to kind of hold this to a hard hour tonight. If you guys got any last minute questions, pop them in. I will answer them real quick. Did they do ducks on? We did not see any. I doubt you're going to see much in the way of the ducks. If you don't know what the ducks are, people like to hide ducks on cruise ship. That is more of a family thing. It's more of like kids going to find them. So I don't think you're going to find them. And I bet if you tried to hide them on the ship, that the room stewards would take them away, or the cleaning service would take them away. Like, for instance, you can't put anything on your doors. They want all the doors kept clean. So I think if there were ducks on the Virgin Voyages ship, they would probably take them away because that is more associated with families than it is with an adults only. So yeah, I wouldn't bring them on there. Bring them on to Carnival, Norwegian, you know, all the other ships. You can bring them on Celebrity. I know you can bring them on Celebrity because Captain Kate was all excited about it when she found one, and then she re-hit it. So she was so freaking excited about it. So yeah, but I wouldn't bring them on there. I don't think it's where you're going to find them. Is there anything else here that I want to bring up? No, that's pretty much everything I got, guys. So this has been absolutely fantastic. Kenneth, thank you. Thank you for joining in. Thank you to everybody for joining in. And, you know, one more time, if you are not a member of our Facebook group, please consider coming on over and joining the Facebook group so we can chat with you. I like following along with what you guys are doing. You know, this is kind of a one-way conversation. I talk to you guys and I see your comment. But over in the Facebook group, I get to see the pictures. We've got some first-time cruisers over there. So those of you who are thinking about your first-time cruise, certainly come find me over on TikTok. I'm over on TikTok pretty much every freaking day, posting stuff over there. And you can ask me questions there. You can leave me questions here in the comments, and I will do my absolute darndest to get the answers for you. Jim, thank you so much for joining in tonight. Really appreciate it. Jim Drennan, he is a travel agent, and he is one of the top Virgin Voyages travel agents. So if you need a travel agent or you want to talk to a travel agent, make a note of Jim, and maybe you want to get in touch with him and say hello. And Jim, you know, one of these nights it would be fun. Maybe we'll get you on one of these, and we'll do a joint one together. So awesome. Hey, thank you, Monkey B. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching the TikTok. Thanks all of you for your support. We crossed 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube. That's a major milestone for us. So thank you very much for all of your support. Really, tip of the hat to all of you. Thank you so much for all of your support on our channel. And I think I'm going to wrap this up because otherwise I'll talk for the next 2 hours and Rebecca is just not going to like that. So, but hey, everybody, thank you so much wherever you are in this wonderful world. Have an awesome evening and a great rest of your weekend. And Wednesday evening, we will be right back here on YouTube with our standard cruise Q&A for an hour. We'll be here at 7 p.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. Pacific, Wednesday night, right here. Huh? Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, we can talk a little bit. We are going to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party on Tuesday night. Wednesday will also be our wedding anniversary. So it will be the wedding anniversary edition of Cruise Q&A. So there might be some hearts floating around and stuff like that. So guys, thank you so much for joining us. Jim, again, thank you so much for joining in. I'll ping you offline. It'd be great to get you on one of these chats as well. So everybody have a great rest of your weekend. Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Join us right back here on YouTube. Good night, everybody.